Hello Virgo, this is a timeless tarot scope for you. It could resonate with you today. Today's the 21st of January 23. It could also find you several years or months or weeks later. That's what I have learned about tarot, at least the way I do tarot. It's very open. So I decided to not put a strict timing onto my readings. So just let me dive into the reading. By the way, I'm using my own tarot cards. I call this the Tarot of Duality. And I will just read the cards to you. So the first card is Wrong Direction. The second card is Healing. Then comes Open, Imagination, Go or Leave, Chaos, Compassion, Future. At the bottom of the deck, we have Barrenness. Okay, so I feel as if you have hit a stop point currently, like maybe you were trying many things, like not just sitting around waiting for something. I feel as if you were very active. Maybe you were even active into different directions. Like, let's say you have 2 or 3 hobbies and you continue to do all of them. You have several, some people have 1 goal, other people have 3 goals, and maybe you were just strictly following or trying to follow the paths that could lead you to achieving your goals. But so far nothing has worked out. Maybe something even has happened. Maybe in your family life, maybe someone died, or maybe you had a relationship goal with someone and that person just broke up with you even though there was nothing wrong in the relationship, Something like this could have happened, like something that just put a stop. Or maybe you were training to become a football or soccer star and you were already seeing some kind of success, but not the success that you wanted. And then suddenly you had an accident and you couldn't train anymore or play anymore. Something like that. Sometimes we are very eager and we are very focused and disciplined, but then suddenly something is throwing us off. There's just a very strong stop, like stop. You can't do anything anymore. No matter how well intended you are, and we often don't understand why this is happening. And I can tell you why this is happening. There is something about healing going on. You haven't healed something that you're not even aware of that it should be healed. Like, in some points within ourselves, we are aware that we are having an issue here and there, and we are trying to develop or to increase that awareness and to enhance our self-reflection, and we go through those steps of healing because we know there is something that has to be healed. But I feel as if there is something that has to be healed that you are not at all aware of, but you will very soon become aware of it. And I feel as if even though this was a huge point in your life and you weren't even aware of it, just becoming aware of it itself will be a huge healing. And it will be a very effortless and quick healing. That's what it looks like. And you will have a lot of spiritual guidance. I don't mean necessarily physically, but in the spiritual realms. There is a lot of support. And this healing will just feel like a gift. And it will open something within you. And you will start to open towards yourself in a different way. I even feel as if there could be a very nice relationship coming into you, in for you. Like something that you really did not expect. And maybe if this what what got stopped. Maybe if this was a career endeavor, maybe it's just on pause. Like, you know, it might feel like being completely powerless about it. And why has it stopped? I have put so much effort in it. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, like, because there's this huge contrast between those two cards. Like within a second, you are in this despair. Like, what? There's just I'm forced to stop now, and then out of nowhere, suddenly there's this really sweet and tender relationship, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. If you are not interested in that, or you already have that, then it could be a friendship. I feel as if it is someone you don't know yet, or maybe someone you haven't met more than 1, 2, 3 times. It is maybe a new neighbor moves into your house, or maybe you get a new pet. For most people, I feel it's very romantic. Very, very romantic. But this is a general reading, and it cannot always be the same for everyone. So for some people, it's another type of relationship. There's also a thing about, you know, also in the spiritual community, we are often being told that our imagination is very important when we have to visualize things. I'm not that kind of spiritual person, not at all. And this is also what this reading is trying to show me, that there is something about your imagination that has gone too far regarding these endeavors. Not that you cannot achieve those goals, that's not what I mean, like, oh, you are dreaming too big. Not at all, I don't mean that, don't get me wrong. I just mean like maybe you are imagining too many details about it, and how you get there, when you get there, how it will all play out, and how it will be when you are there, and then you already start to imagine like the next 30 years of your life, how it would be when after achieving this goal, and what will be your next goal. And there's just to stop that. And stopping it doesn't mean you never will get there. It just means like you have to look at something else now, and you are being forced to look at something else. And it's actually a very beautiful thing. And in that thing, or in that time when you will meet this person, whoever that is, you will learn to live in the moment, and you will not have to meditate or think about or force or watch some stupid YouTube videos about how to be in the moment and blah blah blah. I really feel as if just being with this person will naturally help you to just be in the moment and stop all this imaginary stuff. And that person, what I'm sensing here, that you will meet, or that animal or whatever, just that being that is meant to be in your life, you could have never imagined that this could be the right person or being, or the right pet for you. You know, sometimes we don't even want to have a pet, and then someone comes with a sick cat or something, like, oh, look, I found this cat on the street, and I already have 2 cats, and my cats are not getting along with this cat. Do you want to take this cat? And you're like, no, at the moment I don't want to take care of a pet, because I have so much stuff going on and I'm trying to achieve my goals. But then something, you know, just things will fall together the way they are supposed to, even if you have not imagined that this would happen. And then you will just, sorry, that was my battery alarm. Then you will just suddenly be in that situation, and somehow this being, if it's a romantic partner, a pet, or a friend, will suddenly be in your life, and you will be fine and get pulled away from your endeavors. And after that has happened, suddenly something will move forwards. And now I feel as if it is getting impersonal. I first was thinking, well, that looks quite good, and then you move forwards towards your endeavors when you don't even think about it anymore. And then comes this chaos card. And I was thinking, why does it shift into something negative suddenly again? And then there are 2 positive cards again. Actually, the future card is not necessarily always positive, but especially regarding imagination, sometimes we can be very afraid of our future if we overly imagine what could go wrong. So I was wondering how this chaos card is fitting in, but I feel as if this is something that is going to happen around you. Like when you are in this situation where you finally, or suddenly, meet someone who is meant to be in your life and you didn't even expect it. And then also, whatever your endeavors were, they also suddenly start moving forwards after they were stuck and it tortured you so much. Then, when you are happy, something very chaotic is happening in your environment that does affect you, not in a physical way, not that you will lose this nice situation again or lose your goal or something, but it will touch you to see that suffering around you. It could even be, something really terrible, but that's what I'm feeling. I don't want to scare you unnecessarily, but it could be that maybe there's a tornado in your hometown and nothing bad will happen to you. All your loved ones will be safe and you won't lose your house or something like that. But some people around you will, and that will really touch something within you. And it might also make you feel a little bit guilty because you are so happy suddenly and you have that nice being in your life and you are getting closer and closer to your goals, but then other people around you start to suffer. But you will get through this as well, and I think out of this not only empathy, what is the English word for mitleid? Like when you really suffer because someone else is suffering, I think there's another word than empathy. Like empathy is like you can somehow feel with them and you understand how they feel, but even deeper than that is when you really actually feel their pain so badly that it makes you suffer really strong. But you will get through that and then mature into a state of compassion where you stay inwardly stable, and then you can help those people around you. And with this future card, I'm not quite getting how that fits into all that. Just give me some seconds, please. It just feels like a huge jump again. Like I feel as if when this is something that is happening in your country or hometown or, in your environment, it could be that there will be a sudden cut and you will leave. Maybe you will move away from this town or village or, this big city or just the country even. This future card feels like split off a little bit from the reading. Like it's very open and it doesn't tell me a lot about your future. It relates to all this imagination stuff and projecting too much in the future. And all I can say right now is that some of the things that you were imagining, like in a very gross way, the goals that you are probably reaching in the next months or years, they will be achieved, but they will be different than you expected. And you will then realize that you couldn't have imagined your whole future. It will be completely different. Not in a bad way. It's just something that you cannot imagine. So this, at the bottom of the deck, this barrenness card, I was pointing it out all the time. You know, when I was saying like, you have a feeling right now that nothing is growing, like everything is stuck. But that's, you know, I drew this card not completely like a barren and super dry desert ground. There's this tiny plant, this tiny sprout that still, no matter how dry everything is, it is so strong and it has such a huge will that it might feel like it's too much, but it's still there. And hopefully the rain will come, and yeah, it will, because below that there is the card win. So you will feel, we can relate that to this being that comes into your life. It will feel like a huge win that you didn't even expect, but afterwards you will also achieve your goals, which is a win. And then after that one, we have a blessing on white magic. Maybe when you can finally take a rest because you feel calm, because you are achieving your goals and you have this nice person around you, then you will go into a deeper layer of healing, and the people around you and the new environment and your new life will also help you to heal further, because sometimes we think we are healed, but we are, because our energy system is very complex and it has very many layers, and then we feel very healed, but a few months later we realize there is still something inside of that is not fully done. But it will come very effortlessly, I see that. Then we have integrity. So I think in this sense, in this reading, it is also kind of maturity. Like after this healing, you will integrate certain parts of yourself, reintegrate them. Maybe they were chaotically split and hung around somewhere around you in your aura, and you will reintegrate them into your system. And maybe you will become more authentic. I don't want to say that you are inauthentic, but sometimes we are unconsciously inauthentic because there's something unhealed within us. There's just this integrity card, it just gives me a sense of completeness. There will be a ripening of the character. And then there's the Earth card, which is actually not the opposite, but almost the opposite of this barrenness card, because you know, it's not a dried out earth, it's a very fertile earth, as you can see in that image. So there will, you know, the growth will increase. So I will leave it here. I hope this helped you in some way. Thank you for watching.